and go to elsewhere and to the global affairs analyst Michael Bociurkiw, who's standing by to join us. Michael, good to see you once again. This is some result.
It's absolutely stunning. It's not that much of a surprise. Many of us expected Zelensky to do well. I think what you're seeing here is a massive protest vote. The Poroshenko campaign was actually so tone deaf as to the bread and butter concerns of ordinary Ukrainians. Number one, the corruption. Number two, the pocketbook issues, rising electricity rates, low salaries, and also low pensions. So it all came together, and now we have a comedian turned politician, Volodymyr Zelenskiy, president of one of the biggest post-Soviet countries in Europe.
Mr. Poroshenko, as we heard from Jonah, making the point that this is a novice in charge, and perhaps Ukraine can ill afford to have a novice, particularly with the neighbour as potentially aggressive as Russia. What do you think?
Well, I agree. However, let's not forget Zelensky has surrounded him with some very good technocrats. And secondly, I think that he will have a very small window of opportunity, a very small, short honeymoon to prove himself. And I think that with President Vladimir Putin being perhaps in a deal-making mood, those are the signals coming out of Russia that he'd like to maybe extract Russia out of eastern Ukraine, because those sanctions are crushing. Now, for that to happen, of course, Zelensky will have to work with people like Macron in France and Merkel in Germany to get that whole deal together. But it would be an incredible win for Zelensky if he were able to get some kind of end to this simmering conflict.
That would certainly be number one, I guess, in his in-tray. What about the economy generally? What influence can a president make to try and improve things in that sphere?
Well, I spoke to one of his top advisors today, and they're going to be going after initially these so-called people power measures. And I think measures that people will feel quite quickly. One of those, for example, is stripping the immunity from prosecution of not only the president, but also the judges and also the members of the national parliament. Having said that, he's going to have a heck of a battle getting anything through parliament. You heard Poroshenko say he's going to stay in politics. It's a very fractious parliament. You need a strong coalition, and that is something the Zelensky camp does not have at the moment.
Do you think that the public who gave this man such support, and it's not just a win, it's an extraordinary convincing win, isn't it? How long a honeymoon does he have? Does he have 100 days in office to prove himself? Does he have a year?
We're probably talking a few months. I think tensions here are very high. The scrutiny of Zelensky is very high. Don't forget, there are a lot of Poroshenko supporters and of other candidates who are not happy at all with this win. And I should mention to you, the feeling in the very, very large Ukrainian diaspora is not pro-Zelensky, and these have been traditionally partners of the Ukrainian president to get things through the U.S. Congress, the Canadian Parliament, things like that. So that would be very interesting to watch how support kind of gels around Zelensky really around the world.
I mean, the closest phenomenon, I suppose, in this kind of TV star turning to politician would be President Trump.
Yeah, or if Frank Underwood in the Netflix series House of Cards would have become a real president. But yeah, look, Zelensky, I think, realizes that many people voted for him because the line between reality and his drama had been blurred. So they really think they're getting a president from the TV series. So be very interesting to see how he translates that into reality. Again, he doesn't have much time, but he did do well in that debate on Friday. He stunned everybody, and I think that was also a big factor for his big win today.
So the transition he has to be from an actor who was relaying the words in a script. OK, presidents get script writers, I take that point. But he's really got to do this for real now, not just pretend.
For real. And again, a couple of things there, surrounding himself with the right people. He did unveil some sort of inner group of advisors the other day. Many of them are very young and experienced. We don't know them very well. So beyond about 3 or 4 recognizable names that hang around him and give him advice now, it'll be interesting to see who else he can bring in to get his measures through. But that working with Parliament, because the elections are in a few months from now, will be very, very crucial to getting anything through, really.
Michael Bociurkiw, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed for being with us.